part of me both ways. I think part of me would like a little more time to get ready for a test like this. On the other side of the coin is, when you play good teams, and especially experienced teams, your weaknesses are exposed, so you have a chance to fix them early in the season. So, to play a team the quality of Wisconsin with their experience and their veteran leadership, it's great for our program, great for our fan base. I think this place will be rocking tomorrow night.
How do you beat a team that doesn't beat itself?
That's the challenge, and my message to the team has been, Wisconsin's a team that's going to do what they do. They do it extremely well. They're not going to turn it over. They're not going to foul. So you've got to be smart in your approach and disciplined in your approach. And they've beaten a lot of. There's a whole list of teams that they've beaten that were more athletic, more talented than they were, but just got out executed. So that'll be our challenge tomorrow night: is to stay true to who we are, stay true to our rules, and do everything we can to keep them off the glass.
They like to get a lot of guys post touches. How do you go about defending that, and just how important is that into limiting what they want to do?
Well, because they're so experienced, you can't just throw one look at them. So we've really worked on, bringing some help from different places. At times, not bringing help. Just so that to try to keep them off balance as much as you can, try to get a team as experienced as they are off balance. But if you just sit behind them and let them go, all those guys will be sitting over next to me in foul trouble, because they all post, they all understand what to do with it, and now with the rules and not being able to touch guys down there, they're very, very difficult to guard. Yeah.
Do you worry more about Wisconsin's execution on offense or defense versus your guys?
Both. They're defensively, they are who they are. They're not going to pressure you into a lot of mistakes. They're just not going to give you anything easy. You've got to earn everything you get. Obviously, we want to try to get going in transition. I think they're one of the more deliberate teams in the country, and we'd like to be one of the more fast-paced teams in the country. Having said that, we've got to attack, and then we have to be smart once we get there. The thing that they would really love us to do is to shoot a bad shot in transition, and if you do that, to use a football term, time of possession, we're gonna spend 75% of the game on defense and 25% on offense, and we certainly don't want that.
After Friday, did you spend more time thinking about the first 26 minutes or the last 14?
It was I really think when I took those guys out with 13 minutes to go in a 30-point game, they didn't think they were going back in. So I'm not sure mentally they were real focused at the 8-minute mark when I decided to go back with them. But it's a learning experience that you always have to be ready, and I never felt like the game was. I wasn't worried about losing the game. I just didn't like the way it transpired at the end.
The stage tomorrow, mentally, I guess, so early. How do you like your team walking in from a above-the-shoulder standpoint?
We're going to find out, especially with some of the new guys that haven't been in this situation. Justin in particular, and it's been a year, 2 years since Marcus has been in this situation. And but it's great for our guys, and it'll, like I said, we'll learn a lot about our program, win or lose. There'll be a lot of things that will get exposed that we're going to have to work on, but it's also a great opportunity for us to play, a top 10 team in November and have a chance to really, help your resume come March.
After those first couple of games, anything stood out to you as a pleasant surprise that's maybe further along than maybe you'd expect it to be right now?
I don't know if anything's farther along. Marcus has probably jumped back into things maybe quicker than I thought. I thought he was under control and his pace was good against UMKC. I was worried about him being so hyped up that he's really looking to get his points. But I thought he stayed pretty true to what we were doing defensively and on the offensive end. And Justin's making good progress. And the good news is Cole's getting a little better every day. Zach's getting a little better every day. So we're getting closer to where we're full strength.
Bronson's gone from a guy that was maybe a question mark for them and the unexperienced teams in the past to being a go-to, one of the premier point guards.
Who's that?
Bronson.
Yeah.
To one of the premier point guards in really college basketball. What stands out to you on film as far as things he's improved?
Tony can beat you in so many ways. He'll rock you, put you to sleep with a little rocker dribble and pull up for the three. He can get to the basket, and he just does a great job of getting everybody in the right spot and making sure that the hot hand is getting the basketball. So he's a very complete point guard, and he's got better. And what he did in the NCAA tournament last year, the shot to tie it against Xavier late, and then the big three-pointer on the inbounds play to win the game. That's just who he is. I mean, the guy's got ice water in his veins, and obviously he's become a great college player.
How do you, as a coach, resist the temptation maybe to get Zach more minutes in a game like this defensively, where you're going against a really experienced group, and you've got maybe an inexperienced guy in Justin down there down low.
I may not resist the temptation tomorrow night. There's some big bodies out there where we need them a little bit more, and maybe that wasn't necessarily the case with UMKC. They've got some big bodies they can throw at us. We got to use Jack, we got Zach, we got to use Toby, we got to use Martine. We got to run guys in and out of there and try to keep fresh bodies on them the best we can.
You've seen a team that like 98% of their minutes or something like that?
I've never seen. I think I read today. We've got a decent sports information director, and I think he said that they returned all but 20 total minutes of playing time last year, which I've never heard of such a thing. So, and especially off of sometimes you have a bunch of freshmen and sophomores, and you're building a program and you return everybody, but not a team that's been to a couple Final Fours or a Sweet 16. So it's a great game for us, and I've got tremendous respect for their program and Coach Gard and the way he's done it, and the way he's, the transition from Coach Ryan to Greg has been pretty seamless. And he really flipped their season around and got these guys believing in themselves again.
We proved to ourselves and our fans that we can hang at this level.
What stands out to you, I guess, on film? You see a team that brings back that much of experience that won as far as they did last year. Obviously, it's a pretty tough task for game 2, but what do you see as far as things you may be able to do?
Just that they run their offense all the way through. Everything seems paced and calculated. They've kind of run through the bigs. And so, it's going to put us in some scramble situations, but, they don't want to run like us. So all we're going to do is play our game, and playing our game is going to make a lot of teams uncomfortable, and that's what we want to do.
But you don't mind a scramble situation every now and then?
No, I don't mind it. I mean, it makes the game fun.
What is the challenging part, though, in that situation when, if you guys do double down low, you're going to have to help, and everyone's going to have to be locked in? I imagine. What's the key there to making sure that you don't give up easy buckets?
Well, it's tough. We got to communicate because Koenig can shoot. Showalt's like to crash the glass, which is always a problem when you're doubling and scrambling. So it's about not being afraid to cover somebody else's man, and we have to really focus on stuff that's our weakness. And right now, boxing out for 40 minutes is something that we need to work on. So this is a great test for us to kind of get that test out the way early in the season.
You guys like to live in transition, but they don't really make mistakes, I guess, in terms of turning the ball over. How disciplined do you guys have to be when you're mad?
We just got to be really disciplined. I think this is going to be our biggest test in terms of that. And that's been a focus that we wanted to have on our team goals this year, is to be more disciplined. But, they don't want to run, and, we don't want to, kind of play the close game with them. But at the end of the day, it's about winning, and, the type of team is going to win no matter the game, and we want to be that team.
What do you feel like is maybe the biggest weakness they have that you guys can take advantage of in terms of mismatches?
Well, number one, they haven't really had to play against our crowd. So, our crowd is going to be a big help tomorrow night. And it's hard to play here when it gets rocking like it's going to be tomorrow. And then, just really making sure that we do the things for 30 seconds. They like to, play all the way through that 30, so you can't play good defense for 25 seconds and think it's going to be enough. And we can't do it for 38 minutes. As y'all seen last game, we do what we need to do for 25 minutes, and we're up 30 and another team come back in the game. So, this is a top 10 team, so you got to really be disciplined the whole way through, and it's going to be from our seniors and, and our young guys are just willing to listen.
Is that 30 seconds more of a mental challenge or more of a physical challenge?
It's more of a mental challenge, because of the way we like to run, Coach Matt makes sure that we're in good shape before the season starts. So in terms of fatigue, I don't think it'll be a problem that way, but I think it'll be us maybe wanting to run a little bit too early, or, us thinking we have a rebound when we don't have it yet. That might give them a second chance. So it's going to take all 5. I'm going to need to go in there and get 7 or 8. Marcus is going to need to go in there and get 8 or 10. So that's just the goal that we need to have, to do. We need to do the little things to make the job easier for our big men. go double team Nigel Hayes a couple times, go double team Hap if my man isn't crashing. So it's little things to help each other out.
You got a big game coming up here tomorrow night. What's the expectation for you guys? You looking forward to this one?
Yeah, we are. We just want to get everything situated on the practice floor first, so I think we did. We're really comfortable right now. We just want to go out there and play and make it. It's going to be a fun game for the fans and everybody. It's going to be fun.
What do you expect? I mean, it's a big difference playing at home against UMKC against number 9 Wisconsin. I mean, what do you expect this atmosphere and this game to be like, and how do you kind of keep the reins on yourself a little bit?
It's going to be rocking. I just hope that us as a team, just keep our composure and just execute down the stretch. Even earlier in the game, just get off to a good start, and we're going to have a fun time.
I guess from the things that Wisconsin can do, we talk about they're not going to beat themselves. So as Mac asked you, how do you beat a team that doesn't beat itself?
Just being consistent and staying true to our game. If we just stay to our game plan it'll work out probably not early in the game, but late, like in the second half, things are going to start going our way. We're going to wear them down. So that's where we're going to start winning.
Are you prepared mentally for a situation where the stretches of basketball don't go your way? Wisconsin's probably going to be feeling good for moments, but you just have to, I guess, kind of battle through those situations and, be there in the end, sort of thing.
I've never been in this situation before, so I really don't know. So I would guess I am, and I know Coach Mack has put me in the right spot to where if I'm not, he'll get me under the rims. So like I'll be fine. We should be good as a team. Coach Mack, he's making sure we're all like focused on one thing, and that's beating Wisconsin.
Are you embracing the challenge, knowing what they have to offer with their big guys, and knowing that they're going to try and test you guys down low defensively?
Yeah, today in practice they were simulating the bigs and how they like reach and like it's going to be physical down there. So us as me, Zach, and Teeny, we just got to learn how to just like be strong and play through that stuff and rebound and get it out to the guards and get the break going.
I guess how big of an emphasis is that? You'll probably be thinking about that shot clock a lot, knowing that Wisconsin can lull you to sleep and finish you with 5 seconds left on the shot clock. How important is that 30 seconds?
The first 28 seconds is really important. The last 5 seconds, or the last 2 seconds, it's probably the most important. That's where we gotta like get it going and realize that they're looking for a desperate shot. So we gotta get our hand up and box out and be more physical.
How much do you think a win could possibly put you guys in the national conversation? I know you're already in the poll, but how much could this do for you guys on a national level if you're able to pull this off tomorrow night?
This will be great for us, but I think it'll be great for like the national polls and all that. But just giving us confidence going into the rest of the season and going into Big East play, it'll just be good for us if we get this win.